Hello student, myself Dr. Anita Chaudhary. In today's session we will discuss about the history of computer, that it is, what is the need of the computer, how it is evolved, and what are the phases that are coming in the journey of the computer. So in this presentation I'll completely focus on the history of the computer and the devices that are evolved and that are the devices that are used for the computer. So basically the history says that the navigational tables, tide charts, planetary positions for astronomical analysis and RNA analysis, DNA analysis. So basically in each and every field, e-commerce, physics, medical, everywhere we use the computations, and for the computations we use the computer devices, digital gadgets. So people were doing these things every day, and this is the reason why the people invented computer, and that is basically the aid in numerous computations that are required every day, and that is the basic concept behind the computer evaluation. So what is the computer? What is the definition of computer? So computer is originally from the Latin and it is introduced in the mid of 1980s. It means that someone who computes, or someone who have the ability to compute or to analyze the data. So a computer is a programmable electronic device that can store the data, retrieve the data, and process the data. So the computer is basically completely oriented towards the data, and it works for the data analysis, as this definition is given in the dictionary of the Webster's. So, and the next definition that is given in 2003, that is from the Technocyclopedia, that defines that a computer is a general purpose machine that processes data according to a set of instructions that are stored permanently or temporarily in the memory. So the next terminology that is introduced in this definition, that are instructions. So we feed the instructions, we give the instructions to the computer, and that instructions fetch the data from the memory or from the users, and perform some computation on that data, that either the sum, summation, subtraction, multiplication, some whatever the operation code you have defined, that work on that data and gives the output. And the output is also either you can take the printout, or you can store that output in the memory, which is either temporary memory or the permanent memory. So basically computer is a device or a mechanical device, we can say. So it can process the data and by executing the instructions. So now we come to the history of the computer, how the computing aids that peoples are invented. So the first device from where the computer is basically start evolving. So the first computing aid that were used to help them in either the computation, that is the device that is called the abacus. So in the abacus you can have some uh, balls that are fitted on the vertical sticks, and you can perform the calculations, mathematical calculations, using this abacus device. And this from this particular abacus device, the evolution of computers started. The next device is the Napier bone. So that abacus is created by the John Napier for calculation of product and quotient of numbers that was based on the Erb mathematics and lattice multiplication that is used in the Fibonacci series. If you see on this particular Napier bone, then like 1 1 0 0 from 2 0 0. So and if you multiply like 1 multiplied by 1, that is 1. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. Same likewise, if you multiply 1 multiplied by 2, then the here 2. And likewise, if you multiply 6 with 2, then it comes 6 to the 12. Then 1 is carry like prefix position is written here, and suffix position is written here. So that's how the Napier bone is created, and it is simply use the Fibonacci series concepts. So next, the slide rule. So in the that slide rule is used for the multiplication and division, and it is also for scientific functions such as multiplication, division, root, logarithmic, trigonometric solutions. And it was generally not used for the addition and subtraction. Like we have two scales, and in the case of sliding rule, we just slide one scale, and we takes the readings. Like here we have performed log 3, log 2 and log 6 function. So from these addition, from these kind of things, we can perform the multiplication, division, root and logarithmic functions from the slide rule. Next, the calculating clock was introduced, and it is introduced in 1623. So it is considered of 6-digit machine that could perform the addition and subtraction operation. Like this is 6 digits. Why? Because we are using the 6 rotators, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So when we rotate one particular rotator, then the digits are moved here. Okay, so that's how the addition and subtraction is performed. Next, the Pascal, the first calculator for adding machines, or adding machines to be produced in any quantity, or actually it is used. So it could perform both addition and subtraction with the number being entered by manipulating dials. So same here the concept. If we move the one dial, then it perform, the dial is basically move this circular band which is from 0 to 9, that rotates. And that's how the basically addition and subtraction is performed. So here it is used the 8, up to 8 dials. So you can start from here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you can perform the addition and subtraction. It is a 2-strip rotator. Next, the step reckoner. So the first calculator that could perform all 4 arithmetic operations, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, that are performed using only a single device, and it was introduced in 1672 and it is completed in 1694. It is also use the concept of the rotator, and like you can see the digits are displayed over the head. And the operation that you are perform, you feed the number from the rotator and it performs the all four kind of calculations. Next, the first mechanical computer that is called the difference engine was introduced in 1822. That is generated by the English mathematician who is considered as an uh, father of the computer. That is, the name was Charles Babbage. So the father of the computer is the Charles Babbage. So basically the difference engine is an automatic mechanical computer that is designed to tabulate polynomial functions, and if you see that particular machine, that then it is basically a room size of machines, and it is uses the same rotator functions, and you can rotate one rotator or multiple rotators at a time, and it performs the different kinds of calculations that you want. So you can see that here are the on the rotating disk, the numbers are display, and it is from start from the 0 up to the 9. So that's how basically from the mechanical sides, the researchers are start uh, to do computations. So this is basically the in the past we can say the computers are start innovation. The computers are start their computations using the mechanical devices. Next is the Holy Earth tabling machine. This is an electromechanical tabulator which is uses the concept of the punch card, and here the punch card are introduced. Here you can see these are the punch card, and that are used for data processing in the machines, which was used to complete information in the 1890s. So on the tabular desk to the right is a press like device which would bring an array of pins into a contact with the punch card. So the concept of the punch card was first introduced in this tabulating machine, and the punch card are used for storing the data or for punches basically, and from here we start the to store or to punch data on a particular device or particular kind of uh, uh, data sorry. So next, the how the computer is moved from the mechanical to electrical, that is start from the vacuum tube, and it is invented in 1906. The vacuum tube is invented by the American physicist Lee De Forest, and it is basically a electrical device, or in which is used for the electric functioning. And next, the Turing machine was introduced in 1943. The British mathematician Turing developed a hypothetical device, the Turing machine, which would be designed to perform logical operations and could read and write the data on the punch card. You can see here we use the concept of the punch card also. So it is perform basically the logical operations. So and it is in from these basically, and the vacuum tube, the computer is start uh, a new phase of the inventions in 1940s. So the first large scale automatic digital computer was introduced in 1944, that is generated by the Harvard H. Ken, that is built at the IBM and shifted at Harvard in February 1944. So this is the computer that could handle all four arithmetic operations and had special built-in program for logarithmic and trigonometric functions. So if you see that this Mark 1 machine, that is first machine built at IBM, and it's basically size was very big, approximately room size. So the next thing, that how the vacuum tube was shifted, uh, the electrical uh, devices to the computer. So the next, after the invention of the vacuum, the gates and the transistor concept was introduced. The gate was introduced by Nikola Tesla, that who patented that electrical logical circuit that is called the gates, or we can say switches, in 1903. Next, the concept of the transistor, that is came from the gates and the after the introduction or invention of the gates and vacuum tubes. The transistor was introduced in 1947 by Bardeen, Brattain, and Shockley, who invented the first transistor at the Bell Laboratories in 1947. And these vacuum tubes, gates, transistors, basically they all kind of things are innovate the motherboards. So from these concept, electrical equipment, these electric equipments are fused on a single chip, and the chip is converted into the motherboards. So that's how the computer is built. So these particular gates, or we can say vacuum tubes and transistors, are integrated, uh, was first a concept of the British radar engineer in 1952. The IC is a complete package that is containing the silicon with many circuits, logic gates, pathways like buses, transistors, and other components working together to perform a specific function or series of functions. That or we can say the integrated circuits are built is a building block of the computer hardware. So first, in the history of the computer, the innovation is start by from the vacuum tubes towards the vacuum tubes and the gates, and after that they moves to the transistors, triodes, and then the integrated circuit. So after introduction of the integrated circuits, the chips, the concept of the chips are used for building to for manufacturing of the computers. So the integrated circuits, types of the integrated circuits that are used for uh, to create the devices, that are SSI, small scale integration, that is used the 1 to 10 transistors or 1 to 12 logic gates. Next, the medium scale integration, that is MSI, that used the 10 to 500 transistors and 13 to 99 logic gates. After that, the large scale integration was introduced, and it contains around 500 to 20,000 of transistors and 100 to around 1000 ten thousands of the logic gates. And after that, very large scale integration was introduced that contains around lakhs of transistors and logic gates. After that, the ultra large scale integration circuit was introduced that contains huge number of transistors and logic gates, and you can see these devices on the motherboards. So next, the concept of the chip is basically start in 1960, and after the innovation of the transistors. So in 1960 a new type of transistor was demonstrated, that is the metal oxide semiconductor transistor. So by 1964 the integrated circuit based on the metal oxide semiconductor transistor was boosted high density and lower manufacturing cost than the bipolar circuits. So because transistors contains lesser size, contains lesser size than the vacuum tubes, so the concept of transistors is boosted, and they are used at a large scale to for manufacturing of the chips, and the researchers are basically start to minimizing the size of the chip, and that's why the transistor size also is also minimized year by year. So the basic revolution is begun in 1971 with Intel's 4-bit 4004, and was immediately and logically followed by the companies that built the 8-bit 8008 chips. So these 4004 and 8008 is nothing but the chips that are used for the computations to perform operations. The next, the programmed data processor, that is called the PDP-12, was introduced in 1964. This is also a big size machine and used for uh, psychological chemistry, patient monitoring, and industries applications, and it is basically a 12-bit of machine. And what is 12-bit? Basically bits is a binary number system. So 0 1, so it contains or it work on only 12 bits, which is a combination of 0 and 1. Next, the first large-scale digital computer was basically kind of appeared in 1944 at Harvard University by mathematician Ekain, that is sponsored by the IBM, as I have already discussed, that is Mark 1 computer system. So it basically it stores and process numbers using the click clock. So it is an electromagnetic relay that that have the positions like either 0 1, or we can say 0 is off and 1 is on. That electromagnetic means either the circuit is on or either the circuit is off. That's how the binary number systems are used in the computers, and still the computers are work on these two numbers 0 and 1, that is we can say on and off, sorry, off and on. So 0 means off and 1 means on. So the vacuum tube were used in the starting of 90s, and later on it was replaced by the transistors, and the first visible computer that was appeared in 1960, that is called the ENIAC. ENIAC is the electronic numerical integrator and calculator. So it is also used it is used the concept of the vacuum tube, and around it contains 18,000 of the vacuum tubes. So because the vacuum tube itself size is large, so its ENIAC is a huge containing huge size. So around room size. So ENIAC is basically a general purpose, first electronic general purpose digital computer. You can see this is the size of the ENIAC, and here you can see there are a number of rotators, and it works on 12 bits or number system, 12 bits. So in 1950, when Morse attracts by the glowing light of the vacuum tube, few inside the machine like ENIAC caused a short circuit and brought work to the halts. Basically, it is because it is uses the concept of the electrical circuits. So there is a problem is started in the NEA. So also the NEA consumes huge amount of electricity, that you can see it gives the electricity around 2000 of the modern laptops. So after the ENIAC, the Apple I was introduced in 1976. It is a 8-bit motherboard and used as a personal computer. These you can see this is the Apple I system that is designed and built by the Steve Wozniak. Now after that, the IBM personal computers was introduced, and the original and programmed version of the IBM PC is compatibly hardware platform, and its size is small. So from the start of the IBM personal computers, these machine sizes get little bit or you can say it consumes small space. So they are now they are come to the personal working spaces. So any general purpose computer whose size, capabilities and the original sale price makes it useful for individual purposes, persons, and also operated directly by the end users without any computer operators, and that how the computers are approached or they are accessed by the individuals. And this is the complete scenario how the computer was uh, introduced, and after the computer we come to the phase to the laptops and the handheld devices. So a branch of sub notebooks that is rapidly evolving the category of the small, lightweight, inexpensive laptops computer that are suited for the general computing, and we can access the web-based applications, and we can perform the small size of the computation over a local system. So these type of devices fulfill the requirement of at small workstations where we want to perform some small computations, and that these laptops fulfill the requirements of the end users. So the history of the computer is start from the Abacus towards the sliding rule towards the Charles Babbage first computer that performed the logical operations, and after that the ENIAC and Mark I ENIAC systems, and after that the introduction the transistors was introduced, and they actually shifted the mechanical devices to the electrical devices, and whose size is very small. The big advantage is the size reduction, and these transistors are introduced the concept of the integrated service circuits to the UNIVAC microprocessor, Altair, Apple, IBM, and the now the edge on the World Wide Web or the AI. So in the next uh, presentation, we will discuss about the generations of the computer, the first generation, second generation, third, fourth, fifth, and the sixth generation. So before going on the second slide, you just go carefully how the computers is evolved from the mechanical to the electrical, from the big size computation devices to the small size computation devices, and from the punch card to the memories, from the mechanical computation to the electrical logic gates. So uh, thank you. If you have any query, you can raise. Okay, thank you.